Do you remember Margaret Thatcher? She's the neoliberal English Prime Minister that managed to make everyone in her country hate her by cutting on welfare. Now, here's Mariastella Gelmini, the Italian Margaret Thatcher. Welcome to the second episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm your host, Ipernick the Great, though that's debatable. Last week's politician was a crook with no dignity, but today we have someone who is actually competent. Or is she? Let's find out. Mariastella Gelmini was born in 1973 in Leno, a small town in the province of Brescia. After she got her degree in law, she worked her way up until 2006, when she was elected in the Chamber of Deputies in Berlusconi's party, Popolo della Libertà, which later became Forza Italia. She is still in parliament and she is currently the party representative in the Chamber of Deputies, which is far from unimpressive. In fact, she is one of the most loyal members of Forza Italia. Now, where would Gelmini be in the political compass? Gelmini, as I said before, has a lot in common with Thatcher. They both have conservative social values, but they also want a freer market and to lower government spending. She's one of the few politicians in Italy that come even close to neoliberalism. Others with similar views can be Mario Calenda, Mara Carfagna, and I guess Luca Zaia. However, what she is most famous for is her role of Minister of Education from 2008 to 2011. During her term, she made some very heavy cuts to the budget of public schools, especially elementary schools. She fired 87,000 teachers as well as 44,000 technicians. Then she increased work hours for teachers from 27 hours per week to 32. The reason she gave for doing this was to make the school more cost effective. 97% of the education funds were spent on salaries. By removing part of the workforce, she had more money to improve the equipment on schools. In fact, many buildings were completely renovated or expanded, and schools could finally afford smart boards and computers. On a darker note, more than 120,000 people lost their jobs, and when confronted with this, Gelmini would just reply, "Schools are to educate, not to fix unemployment." Gelmini also did some changes on the way teachers were selected. She supposedly made it more meritocratic, in order to hire even more competent people. Many praised Gelmini, claiming that her plan to make schools more cost-effective was actually a success. I could not find any data to support this directly, but here's a survey. Here it shows the perceived preparation of teachers and professors by certain people, who are divided by profession. 60% of the people who answered this survey think that professors know what they're doing. 74% of the students who voted think their teachers are doing a good job, which looks pretty good for Gelmini. Though when it comes to the question, what do you think is the biggest problem in the education system, most people said that the subjects were outdated, while others said the school was too underfunded. Both are not very nice things. In fact, Italy is one of the countries to invest the least on education and research. Gelmini tried to update high school programs in order to make them focus more on certain subjects rather than others, but many agree that it actually sucked, since it was too vague and the opposite of innovative. At the time, a lot of people went out to protest on the streets, both for the bad school program, but also because she fired thousands of people without asking workers' unions. Gelmini is a bit of a controversial figure today for the people who follow politics. Personally, I think she succeeded in making the schools more cost-effective. I went to school in Italy throughout her term as minister, and I remember in 2009 that a good portion of my teachers were fired and everybody was complaining about her. But then, when I joined middle school in 2011, my school got computers, smart boards, and a new football field. In addition, my old elementary school had a completely new section built with 6 new classrooms and an indoor gym. Like, from what I experienced, Gelmini did a good job. It's not perfect, sure, she could have updated the program to make it less out of touch with reality, but here's the twist. The survey I showed you was done way after 2011, so if the problems are still the same after 8 years, then I don't think it's Gelmini's fault. Rather, it's the fault of whoever came after her. The only minister I would not point fingers at would probably be Luca Azzolina, our current minister, because it's a bit hard to reform the school system during a global pandemic, but that's another story for another day. Here's the conclusion. It's hard to admit it, but us Italians are not very good with money. We just ask more funds when in reality we don't really know how to spend them wisely. We need more people like Gelmini in government, because by cutting useless expenses, she improved schools on a structural level and gave a better experience to the kids attending Italian schools. While they are far from excellent, Italian schools work very well for the money they are given. I hope that there will be a way to improve the school system without having people lose jobs, and by giving students a childhood they can look back at fondly. Thank you for watching, I will see you next time.